Alrighty, I think I've shared the links around. I've done my posts, done everything. All right, sweet. Okay, let's rock and roll. All right, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining our spaces today. I do have some brief updates to give. It'll probably take me like about half an hour or so. So just again, bear with me there. Let me turn. I think it should be all right. Got my volume on my computer, but should be right. All right, now we're going to go through some things today. I've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to talk about the new NFT range, just a bit about the new swap that we've got coming out. Then we've also got the new reward stuff on the Interlink platform. But first of all, I will share actually in the Nesta post that I made recently. If I can add it to the nest. Can I add it to this nest? No. All right. Anyway, there is a post. I don't know why it won't let me share. Right. I think I have to do it from my account. So now I will say that also we will have the chill and chat session after the update. So if you do want to come up and speak, you have to remember to request to speak. Otherwise, you won't be able to obviously talk on the spaces. Then I should be able to get that notification. If you don't get the notification, then I won't be able to add you up. So let's do that. I don't know why I can't share this post in the space though. So let me just give me a sec. Aha. Right. I think I figured it out. Okay. So I made a post recently that I've just put up in the nest there. Hopefully it'll show up in the recording of the spaces. But basically I just went through, just a few things that I share, personally for myself in regards to like what's been going on a little bit and just sort of the financial costs of running the project. It's a post that I didn't really want to make. I don't really like talking about sort of finances, and I didn't want it to sound like it was going to be just a whining sort of, attention-seeking post and stuff like that. But they've received, a lot of positive support from it and DMs and stuff. So I really appreciate that. But it's just good to have a read through that and sort of get a concept of, I guess what it costs at the moment to run a project, but also just, just things that go on. I definitely think I do suffer a bit of imposter syndrome myself, where I don't feel like I've done enough. And I'm always criticizing myself inside my head a lot too. Which is a bit of a double-edged sword, I suppose, because feeling like I'm not doing enough does motivate me to keep going. But then when I've achieved things, I don't take time to appreciate those achievements. So then they kind of, obviously stresses me out and affects my mental and physical health. So that's definitely something that I want to work towards this year. And, the whole new year, new me thing, that everyone does. But I definitely do need to start taking care of my mental and physical health. So that's something that I want to focus a lot on this year. So that's just a little bit of a update from me personally. So yeah, again, it should be in the nest at the top. All right. Now, all right. So updates for the BODA ecosystem. Now I do have a list here, so I'm going to try to make sure that I don't forget anything on the list that I've got here. Okay, so we've recently partnered with Change Now. Most of you would have seen the posts, I'm sure, that we've been putting up a lot. So we've got access to the bridge exchange swap that's part of Change Now. And Change Now is a global crypto facilitator. They have access to hundreds of different exchanges. That's where they get all their liquidity from. And they have about over 50,000 different tokens available from multiple blockchains on their bridge swap platform. Okay, so with the bridge swap, it doesn't require KYC. I think there would be technically a financial limit. That'll be something you'd have to find out on the actual Change Now website itself. But generally, for trades, I've done bridge swaps for $1,000, and it's never asked me for KYC. So that's something you can do really quick and simple, especially when it comes to DeFi. DeFi is about decentralization and the whole. A lot of people, use DeFi because they don't want to have to, send their ID to other companies and whatnot. So it's a really, really cool feature to have. It's really easy to use in terms of bridging from different blockchains. So just an example's sake, say if you got Bitcoin and you want to swap it for BNB, well, then you can literally get your Bitcoin. You can trade it directly for BNB. Vice versa, if you've got some spare BNB and you want to get some Bitcoin, you can swap your Bitcoin straight for your BNB straight for Bitcoin. It is important, though, to make sure that you've got your receiving address correctly when you're using the bridge swap. So you just have to make sure that, for example, if you are wanting to receive Bitcoin, well, you need to make sure that the receiver address is going to be the Bitcoin address. So if you want to, say, swap BNB for Bitcoin, well, you shouldn't be putting a BNB address as the receiver, because you won't receive the Bitcoin, because they're obviously on different blockchain networks. So that's something to really keep in mind. Just make sure you double check that. In terms of sending funds for the transfer, will change now. Will when you go through to process the exchange, it'll pop up with a payment window, and it'll basically give you the wallet address that you need to send the funds to. So again, if you're swapping something like BNB for Bitcoin, well, it'll say, hey, send us X amount of Bitcoin to this wallet address, and then we'll send you the Bitcoin back once the transaction has been completed. For full transparency's sake, with the change now, we do earn commission from every swaps. Now, that commission is not an extra fee. So I need to stress that it's not an extra fee. Change now take their fee, which is a standard fee across their platform, and then they just give us a commission based on like the number of swaps and things that we get from those who use our widget. So if you also want to sort of help BODA out in that way, and it's a good way to swap and bridge tokens for yourself, but also with that commission, a little bit of revenue that we get, that's going to go straight back into BODA marketing and development. So again, you get a bit of a win-win situation, because you get to bridge tokens. I found that it's also often cheaper than doing it on exchanges, especially when you're looking at things like withdrawing from exchanges, as exchanges will often charge a premium in terms of withdrawing tokens through. So, for example, if you want to withdraw Bitcoin from an exchange, some exchanges will charge you like $30 or $40 in a withdrawal fee, which they claim is for the gas, which to me is nonsense, because at the moment the Bitcoin kind of gas fee, or the fee to transfer Bitcoin, is only like $5. So exchanges are really ripping people off in that sense. All right. Now, all right, so we're going to go just talk a little bit about the upcoming multi-chain platform that we've got building. So that is the upgrade to the existing BodaSwap, but it's important to remember that it's not just a simple update or an upgrade. We've actually got a brand, like a whole new website. We've got a whole new UI, everything like that. We've got additional things that are going to be on the platform. I mentioned briefly about it back in December when we had a Spaces. Unfortunately, when it comes to the Twitter Spaces, they get auto-deleted every 30 days, and that's from the X platform itself. So we're not deleting the Spaces. X is actually deleting the Spaces. So with this update, I'll probably try to screen record this later on and just put it on YouTube or something, just so it's there for those who miss the recording after 30 days. But hopefully most of you will listen to, especially if you're not here live right now, you'll listen to the recording within the 30-day timeframe. So I believe our new BodaSwap is going to be like 10 times better than our existing swap. And not just because of the multi-chain. I believe it's going to be a lot better because of the bonuses and the benefits and the different sort of elements that we're going to have on our new swap. So I'll just briefly go through some of the new things that will be on the new swap website. Now, it's not going to be everything there. We've got like plans and ideas for additional things, but I'll just, I guess, point out the highlights. So there will be a chart on there that'll make it a lot easier. So when you're actually on the swap and you're wanting to swap tokens, especially like, you're playing with like meme coins or other tokens that might not be listed on CMC or CoinGecko, we'll aim to have a charting option on there. So you can look at the chart there while you're on the same swap page. So instead of having to have multiple tabs open on your browser and then swapping back and forth, going, well, what's the price of this token? Okay, and then I'm now got to go back to the swap. Instead, that'll all be on the same screen, so you'll have the option to play around with that. We'll have the referral link system, the referral codes, and basically it works like any other swap or exchange referral system. You get a code or a unique link, and then whenever someone uses the swap with your referral link, you will then get reward points basically earned for that. So on that note, we will have a account portal, which will then have to track your earnings and everything like that. But the account portal is also really important. It'll be an email and password login system, but that's going to be really important for any future potential regulations that may come up. There's a lot of talk at the moment with regulating DeFi, trying to push KYC and all that sort of stuff into DeFi. So if that happens, at least when we have an existing account portal with, a database basically and a login system, we can then just add KYC stuff into the existing account system. So that'll be a lot easier than trying to have to create an account system and a whole database system after we've already launched the site. So we're going to have that in place as well. The account system will also manage a lot of different things on the platform. I should just quickly touch on the user base. So I've just done some manual calculations the other day on BSC Scam. And I was actually quite surprised at the numbers. So in the last 2 years, we've had about a little bit over 5,500 individual wallets that have used the swap. Now, some of these wallets have only used it once, and then there's obviously a fair few wallets that have used it numerous times. So I've only just looked at the individual wallet stuff. I haven't trying to figure out how many individual swaps are done, because that's just mental. Also, BSC Scan doesn't really log, there's a log limit to how much you can actually pull up from there without having to pay extra for APIs and stuff. So it's a really cool number to know that we've had sort of over 5,500 individual wallets use our swap in the last 2 years, which is it's a pretty, it's a modest number. It's not massive. But it's just nice to know that there are obviously people that are seeing our posts and coming on and using our swap. All right, so with the new swap website, because we'll have improved APIs on there as well that we don't have on our existing swap. Wallet Connect also now has built-in APIs which help with monitoring statistics and stuff as well, so we can utilize those on the new swap website. We will have a leaderboard system. So the leaderboards are really cool in a way that they can track things like we can do swap contests, we can do things like, who's earned the most referrals in a period of time. So we could run contests like a monthly contest where it's like, hey, the top 3 traders for the month will get some prizes. The top 3, referral scores get prizes. We can even do leaderboard contests for swapping specific tokens as well, which I think is going to be really useful for tokens that are listed on our swap. And it's something that we can also market to tokens, that may potentially want to list our swap. So for example, you could run a contest where the account that's traded the most amount of BODA, so like BODA and BNB or something like that. And then you could track it. So, the person who's traded the most amount of BODA, and then give prizes out once a month or something like that. In terms of tokens, we could offer to token projects, hey, you want to put up some tokens as a prize and run a contest for, let's say, the first month of your listing. And so, you'll have, you'll have the stuff like that. So that's sort of the things that we can play around with the leaderboards and have contests and things like that, which I think is going to be really exciting. People do get competitive as well. So I noticed with for years now with other sites that have leaderboard systems, people do really get competitive, and they do like to, compete and sort of see themselves climb leaderboard ladders and things like that. So I think that'll be really good for the new swap. Now, we've also got a plan. We'll have a sort of a quest kind of section within the accounts portal. That's a future thing, but things like quests or tasks, completing tasks, things like, follow social media, maybe go like some tweets and stuff like that we'll have. We will also have a future plan to build a revoked DApp. So similar to the ever revoked DApp that currently exists, but we're going to build our own, which will be accessible for multi-chain. So that'll mean it'll be across all the EVMs, and hopefully we can also, well, actually, no, I don't think, sorry, correction, we don't need to make one for Solana because it doesn't really do that. But yeah, we can hopefully do it for most of EVMs. So that'll make it easier to revoke your approvals and things on Ethereum and other chains like that. All right, now, just going back to the account portal. See, this is why I wrote things down, because I knew I was going to miss stuff. With the account portal, we'll also have a store within the account portal to purchase things like crypto gift cards and the crypto like Visa cards. Now, there'll be two ways to get those. We'll set up a shop where you can buy them directly with your crypto, or you can use your referral points to exchange for those gift cards or Visa cards. So, for example, we might have like $50 gift cards, and then if you've got enough referral points, then you just exchange it for that $50 gift card, something. But again, that'll be something within the account portal. Again, due to like regulation issues and things like that, like I think if we just had an open store, like a, sort of Wild West kind of free range store, we might end up in trouble in the future. So at least if it's behind an account system, and then we'll have people's at least emails and things like that to begin with. And if we need further details in the future, we can do that. I think some of the gift card stuff anyway asks for like your name and information anyway. So again, that'll be something that'll go through that. All right, another thing that'll be on the new website will be staking pools. So initially, we'll have it set up for the second token that we're going to plan to launch as part of our BODA ecosystem. Now, I won't go too much into the second token today, because I think that's going to be something for an entirely different space, because that's going to take up a lot of time with tokenomics and things like that. And this update today is already going to take a fair bit of time to get through. So we'll talk about that another day. But basically, with our second token, we'll have a staking pool, staking abilities. But I also want to be able to have the option to add staking pools for other projects. So other projects that are listed with the swap. So we want to do that, and across different chains as well. So initially, we'll have staking set up for the BNB chain, but we definitely want to look at even having staking pools for ETH and the other EVMs. Yeah, so that'll be something in the future. All right. Now, there will be a VIP perk section as part of the new BodaSwap as well. So this VIP section will provide additional benefits and privileges for those who have VIP access. Now, one of the examples of a bonuses could be earning double referral rewards. So when you have a VIP access account and then you use your referral code, then you could earn, double the points when someone's using it and things like that. We could even do things like if you've got a VIP account and then you use the swap, you could even earn points that way as well. We can even do things like allow access to private and pre-sale whitelisting spots. So this is something that we could offer for future projects that may want to come work with us, and even if they want to have us build their tokens and things like that for them. But with a VIP access portal, you basically have a select amount of people that have this access, and you can send them emails or you can send them notifications, so exactly how many people that are on a VIP list within our system, and then you can issue them whitelist spots and things. So that'll be something I think would be good for future projects that want to come list with us. We will also have an advanced chart as part of the VIP system. So the advanced charting will basically allow people to do technical analysis and put in indicators and all that sort of stuff if they're, if you're into that. So that's just a little bonus thing. We can also do things with VIP access for staking bonuses on staking pools. So again, if you've got a VIP access account, then when you do staking things, we could even tie in bonuses for that. So with the VIP access, there's two ways that we're going to look at doing it. One way is a subscription fee. So we can do like a monthly or a yearly subscription fee. And then the second way to access the VIP perks will be through NFTs. So in terms of NFTs, I will now update you all on the NFT stuff. And apologies if I am kind of going through this pretty quickly, because I do have a fair bit to go through. But yeah, feel free to listen back to the recording as well if you miss anything. I'll try and provide a summary later on as well. But we can also just keep talking about it after I give the updates as well. If you've got any questions, feel free to come up and ask. All right. So the NFTs, all right. And thank you to our community member, Lord Furious, for creating all the individual Boda koala images for the NFTs. He spent a lot of time doing them and photoshopping them and fixing them up and everything like that. So I really appreciate Lord Furious for doing that for us. So the current plan for the NFTs, they will be focused on the utility rather than it being like a trading card style NFT. All right. So you have NFTs that are like trading cards that have, elements for t-shirts, hats, sunglasses, hairstyles, whatever. Those are like what I call the trading card style NFTs. Then you have the utility NFTs. So we do have beautiful images. We have awesome individual images where the koalas are doing different things in different scenes. But the main purpose of the NFT is going to be the utility behind it and the utility access that we can even use the NFTs for in the future. So we're not locked in to the perks and benefits of the NFTs either, because we can also work on things in the future as well with the new swap platform, the website. We can plug in the NFTs and do different things with that. All right, so the NFTs will give you VIP access, right? So if you have the NFT, then you will get VIP access. Now, you will get VIP access for as long as you hold that NFT. So rather than paying a monthly or yearly subscription fee to get VIP access, then just holding the NFT will give you that for as long as you hold the NFT. That's, from my point of view, I think that's a good way as a bit of an incentive as well to want to have the NFT. If you're interested in having, essentially like a lifetime perk of the VIP access as long as you hold the NFT. Now, we will have a little bit of a different perk from the BNB chain NFT compared to the other EVM NFTs. So what we're looking at doing at the moment is having NFTs available on BNB chain, Ethereum, Polygon, and Base. We do have future plans to have NFTs on Solana that will work with our Solana version of the new BodaSwap, but that's something that we need to do more work on and make sure we know exactly how that's going to work. So the NFTs have to be on different chains for a particular reason, because when you're connected to the EVM chain, like say through Wallet Connect, and you're on the swap, if you're on ETH swap and you connect to ETH, but then you hold a BNB chain NFT, it's going to try and read your ETH wallet, and then it's not going to detect that you have the NFT. So that's why each NFT has to be on its each EVM. The other thing too is because we're going to have the bonuses for the BNB chain version that are also going to tie into our second token, right? That I'm going to pretty much do on BNB chain. So with the NFTs, there will be 3 different rarity classes. So there will be uncommons, rare, and ultra rares. Now, with the BNB chain specific NFTs, they will provide staking bonuses for the second token, right? So again, this is why it works better if they're all on the same chain as well. I know there was a bit of discussion or a bit of thought about potentially launching the second token on Solana. Honestly, from just my personal point of view, Solana is 99% just full of gambling degens. There's a few projects, a few tokens on there that are kind of fairly stable, but the majority of stuff that's on Solana are just quick pump and dumps. Some of them don't even last 5 minutes. Some of them launch and they're just gone in 5 minutes. Like they go to zero in 5 minutes. So for a long-term token, again, to put it on Solana, I just don't have the confidence, and I think it's too high risk. So I'd rather stick with BNB chain. We know it's a solid chain. It is decentralized, even though a lot of people think it's controlled by Binance. It's not. It's decentralized. It's a copy of the Ethereum, code base basically. So all those EVMs are as decentralized as you can get. There's different nodes, there's different nodes that are hosted all around the world. It's not just controlled by one company. So there's no future risk in my mind of BNB chain going anywhere in the future. All right, so just with the BNB chain to the staking benefits. So with the uncommon NFTs, and obviously when we have the NFTs out and they're ready to mint it, this will be all written down. But just for now, the uncommon NFTs will provide a 1% bonus per NFT, and they will be stackable up to a maximum of 10. Okay, so if you have 10 uncommon NFTs, you'll get a maximum of 10% for your bonus staking. Now, sorry, just getting distracted by a message. No, it's all good. Okay, so the rare will provide you with 15% staking bonus. Now, with the rare NFT, you'll only be able to have one. So they won't be stackable, but you can hold one rare, and that'll give you 15% bonus. The ultra rare will give you a 20% bonus. And the same thing with the rare, you'll only be able to get the bonus for one of those NFTs. Now, with them being stackable, I plan to have all of them be able to be combined to give you a maximum of 55% bonus. So if you have 10 uncommons, one rare, and one ultra rare, you'll be able to get a maximum of a 55% staking bonus for having all those. Now, in saying that, getting all of those, you'd have to be like really, really lucky. And I'll explain that in a little bit as to why that will be. All right, so now there will be different artworks for the rarity classes, but again, they're all basically different, koalas doing different scenes and different things anyway. So, but they're really cool. I've just sort of picked out the ones that look a bit like, in my opinion anyway, look a lot cooler. So I've split them up into rares and ultra rares. So there will be 45 images for the uncommons. There will be 5 images for the rare, and then there will be 1 image for the ultra rares. So we'll have 51 individual artworks for the NFTs. All right, so that'll be about a total of 2,755 NFTs in total. So if I've got the numbers right here, it should be about 2,250 uncommons, should be about 500 rares and 5 ultra rares. So like I said earlier, it's going to take a bit of luck getting, the rares, there's going to be 500 rares. So that means 500 people can potentially mint rares, and then there will only be 5 ultra rares. Now, if you get super, super lucky and end up with multiple rares and even multiple ultra rares, you could even decide to transfer them to a second wallet that you have or another wallet, or you could even put them up on a marketplace to try and sell those. Now, with the minting system, we will randomize it as best as we can. And again, with those 5 ultra rares, they will just be randomly put in amongst the minting process. For those who've never minted NFTs before, just to quickly touch on that, basically you got a minting DApp and you punch in how many you want to mint at once. So whether it's one mint or you want 10 mints or 50 mints or whatever, you pay the cost for that. Then they get minted and then they get sent to your wallet. And basically once they're minted and in your wallet is when you find out what NFTs you've got. So you'll find out if you've got uncommons or rares or ultra rares. So that's how the minting process works. And again, it's more for fairness and randomization. So it's not a process of like, oh, well, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to try and wait for like someone to mint 50 uncommons or something, and then I'm going to get a rare because I know that I'm going to get a rare every 50 mints or something like that. Like, we're not going to do it like that. We're going to randomize it to try and make it a bit fairer. Now, again, going back to the numbers, so the total 2,755 NFTs that I've come up with based on the individual wallets in the last 2 years. So because we've had about 5,500 individual wallets on the swap. So that's about half of those individual wallets. And I think that's a decent number because if we say, hypothetically, if only one person mints an NFT, then that would mean, we'd have to have about 2,755 people minting the NFTs. Now, I would say most likely we're going to have people that are going to mint multiple NFTs. And I've seen this in other communities. I've seen this in other communities that have released NFTs for staking perks or, other perks for their existing tokens. And you'll find often that people will buy, 20 or 30, or some people go crazy and they buy 100 at a time. So again, that number I think is reasonable in the scenario that if we only had 1 mint per wallet, like 1 mint per person, then in that hypothetical scenario, there would be 2,755 people that would have access to the VIP perks on our existing platform. And that also includes, in particular for the BNB chain only, that would be that many people, again, if there was only one NFT per wallet, that would have staking bonuses. So we've also got to factor that in, because we just can't have an unlimited amount of people getting like massive staking bonuses, because that would be ridiculous, and no one would earn anything because everyone would be just like trying to compete and jump over each other to milk the staking. Now, the NFTs will be able to be traded on NFT marketplaces, and you can also transfer them wallet to wallet. Okay, so that will, keeping in mind though that when you do that, if you sell the NFT or transfer the NFT, you will lose the VIP perks. So you just have to remember to keep that in mind for that. I'm hoping to have this minting DApp done by the end of this month, so the end of Jan. I'm really, really hoping we can do it. The NFTs are really, really simple. It's just the minting DApp that just takes a little bit of time. It's more just the front-end UI stuff and everything. We're going to put it on the existing bodatoken.app website, which is a bit of a iffy code base compared to the NewSwap, because the NewSwap is such a better code base. It's just so much smoother and easier. But anyway, we're pushing through with that minting DApp. Really, really, really hoping we get that done by the end of this month, because I will be going away to Japan for for 5 weeks. So hopefully we'll have that, and then people can just start minting NFTs for like the next month or two or whatever, and then we'll have the swap. Hopefully we'll have a swap ready and live to go. Now, the NFT prices. Okay, so just again for full transparency's sake, at the moment for the pricing, looking at around $50 US for the BNB chain NFT. So just for the BNB chain NFT, and then $30 for all the other NFTs. So it'd be $30 for the EVM NFTs and the Solana one, but it'll be $50 just for the BNB NFT. Now, the reason for the price difference there is just purely because of the staking bonuses that I can guarantee for the BNB chain side of it. In terms of the other EVM NFTs, we could potentially do stuff with staking when we eventually build the staking pools on the EVM sides, but I just can't guarantee that at the moment. So that's why I personally I would rather have a bit of a price difference there, as opposed to just sort of charging like $50 for everything and then there not being the identical perks across the board. I just personally don't think that's fair. Now, again, transparency's sake, you gotta love that word, transparency, but no. So the NFT sale funds, right, 5% will go to the NFT artist, 5% will go towards ongoing dev costs for the NFTs, because we will have to continually update the NFTs in the future for when we want to do different perks and things like that for the NFTs, also to just cover the cost for the minting DApp and whatnot. So the remaining 90% of the funding that we aim to collect from the NFT sales would go back into the marketing development wallet of BODA. So that'll give us, again, in an ideal world, we sell out of everything, all the NFTs, and then we'll have a fair amount of cash to spend on marketing and future development costs. Marketing is obviously the most expensive out of all of it. Also, with the second token, because it's going to be a zero tax token, I do want to be able to list on exchanges with the second token, and that is going to cost a lot of money. Exchanges want like 50 grand just for listing, plus another 25 to 30,000 in stable coins to set up a liquidity. So you're looking at close to 100 grand just for like a really basic exchange listing, and that's like a low tier exchange. That's not even top tier. Top tier exchanges, you're looking at like $500,000 easy. So yeah, we get that funding, and then we'll be in good stead. And again, with those NFTs, even if it takes a few months for them to sell or whatever, that'll be something that'll just keep collecting. I'm pretty good with finances. I don't go crazy, and I'm not going to like spend all that money at once. So not really fussed if it takes a few months either for them to all sell out. There will be no royalty commission on the NFTs, so you'll be able to freely trade them on the marketplaces and keep 100% of your profits. I personally think this is the best option for these types of NFTs, because they focus on utility rather than the trading card style of NFTs. So with the utility, right, if you're trying to sell the NFTs or put them on the marketplace, you're going to be advertising them for the utility perks. And what can happen is that, let's say they're all sold out, and then people start to go, well, wow, okay, these are actually really good perks. And the swap's really great, and I really want to get access to this VIP, and it's like a lifetime VIP as long as I hold the NFT. People can go to marketplaces and actually start putting their own bids for NFTs, right? And then you can go there and look at the marketplace and be like, oh, look, someone's bidding $100 for this NFT. And you could be like, okay, well, yeah, maybe you're in a situation where, you might have a bunch of NFTs. You might have minted like 50 of them. So you got like, okay, I've got some spare. Or you just might be in a situation where you need to move on with it. So if you see a existing bid already, it creates kind of a market value, and then you can be like, okay, I can sell that directly. So that's another way to also create a market value for the NFTs as well. And again, with there not being any royalty commissions, people are free to just move them around and buy and sell them, and then they can keep 100% of the profits themselves. I say profits because marketplaces will often take their own fees when you trade on marketplaces. All right. So on that one, again, I'm always open to community feedback. So if you've got any ideas, or if you've got any opinions, I know everyone's got fucking opinions, excuse my French. But if you've got any of those, feel free to send them my way. Just send them to me in a message. Don't clutter up our main chat and whatever with, bits and pieces. Just send me messages, especially if you've got ideas and stuff. Look, I know. Already you can kind of see pricing might be something people kind of maybe have opinions about and thoughts about. But again, that I think is a good price. I mean, I've minted most of my NFTs early on NFTs, even in 2023. I think started 2024. On Ethereum, there were NFTs minting for $30, and now they're worth nothing. And then and then they were just trading card style NFTs. So I think $30 for a utility NFT is pretty good value considering all the perks. And again, I think $50 value for all those staking bonuses is pretty good value, because you should definitely get your money's worth out of it. Absolutely. All right. So as far as the BodaSwap upgrades, now it's taking time, I know, and we were hoping to have it done by October last year, and then things happen, and then basically I was getting sick, and then the dev that we got working with us was getting sick as well, and blah blah blah, and then so I'm hoping that we can get the new swap done by March. So I've set an internal hard deadline for March, but again, I'm not going to make any promises to all of you because delays happened. And the last thing I want to do is promise something and then there'd be a delay and then everyone gets upset. So that is the goal at the moment, is to have it ready by March. So the only kind of problem we've been having is with the Solana swap. And with no disrespect to Solana, however, Solana, the chain itself is a bit unstable, and even on Radium and Jupiter swaps, you'll get failed transactions, and it's because of a timeout issue with the chain. And we've basically been trying to smash out 5 swaps back to back, and we get about 3 out of 5 that succeed, and 2 will fail, and it's just timing out. And it doesn't matter, the fastest internet connection you'll have. We're using one of the fastest nodes that that run on Solana, and it's still happening. But that's roughly about a 60% success rate for the Solana swap, and we've just bashed our heads against a wall for a couple of months trying to work around that. It seems to be a common issue with Solana. That's the issue. Again, if there's updates that are things that are pushed to the blockchain and things, and that fix those issues, then we will implement them on our Solana version. But that's just the reality of that at the moment. So again, we will have that out. We'll have the Solana version of BodaSwap out, but just telling you all now, keep in mind that the success rate of each swap is about 60%. So if you get a couple of fails, don't worry, you'll just have to put it through again. Gas on Solana is just like almost non-existent anyway. So it's also not going to be like costing you gas or not too much anyway in failed transactions. So that's fine. But yeah, again, while I'm away in Japan for 5 weeks, we'll have our dev working on the swap. We're just going to go through just some more testing, make sure all the referral stuff is working smoothly. Just going to get him to smash through and just do it multiple times and try and break it, basically. And then we've just got other EVM swaps. Ethereum swaps we haven't tested a lot, only because the ERC20 gas fees are stupidly high. They're like $20 to $30 every swap. So I don't really want to be like wasting thousands of dollars on testing swaps. But we also we have to test a few because you can run them through the testing. You can test run them, but in my experience, what works on testing usually breaks on the live net, on the live stuff. So that's the update for that. All right, geez. All right, I've been going on for like 46 minutes. All right, so all right, the final bits of the update. All right, okay, thanks for bearing with me too. We'll get to the chill and chat session in a minute. Right, so BODA is listed on Interlink staking and rewards platform. Now let's see if I can share this to the space. I may have to do this on the phone though, because it seems like you can't share tweets in the Nest on the computer. So let me go find it. There it is. There it is. All right. Great. So you should see it pop up in a minute in the top Nest there. So there's the tweet. Again, if you're on the recording, go click on that. If you're live now, you can go up there and click on the recording on the bloody post. Okay. So with that Interlink rewarding system, we had Interlink on in December, and Trucko explained a lot of what they do and how it works. But again, just to quickly go through that, Interlink has their rewarding system, and basically people who hold Interlink tokens can then do staking farming. They can earn rewards in their pool, and then they can exchange those rewards for other tokens. So BODA is listed on the reward pool now. It's exposed to like multiple other token communities as well, which is really great. And what you can do is you can then redeem in their rewards pool for BODA tokens. So the benefit of that too is it's a win-win for especially like Interlink holders as well, because what they do is they can have Interlink, they can earn the rewards, they can then get BODA, and then from BODA they can earn the USDTs, right? Because with BODA, we have the USDT passive rewards as part of our tokenomics. So it's a really cool setup that they've got going on over there. And again, Interlink is really, really good with focusing on projects and communities and partnerships. They're not sort of focused just on them and what only benefits them. They're really focused on what benefits all of us. So yeah, go check out their platform. But again, it's just really great for BODA as well to be on that list and to be amongst multiple other projects on there. There's a few projects that they've got in their rewards pool that are that have massive communities as well. So it's just really cool to have that on there. On the topic of that too, with our reward system, it's good to remember that we are a reward token, and we have been the same since we launched in 2021. And I know some people will say, oh, well, that was the meta in 2021, and things change, and reward tokens aren't in at the moment, all this sort of crap. But the fundamentals of this token and any reward token really are the same. Like fundamentally, they still work, and they are designed for what they're designed for. Like when we had a lot of volume and we had a lot of trading going on, like there was a lot of rewards pumping out, and it's the same now. If we had $1 million worth of trading volume today, like everyone would just have USDT just pouring into their wallets. So it's again the fundamentals haven't changed. So when people say shit like that too, like personally, just pisses me off, because they're not thinking about the long-term aspect, or they're not even thinking about the fundamental concepts of the token. When people say shit like that, they're just saying, oh, I just want to buy your token and then quickly flip it in like half a day or like in 24 hours. That's all they're after. People aren't thinking about the long-term aspects of investing or in fucking holding tokens. So anyway, so with that, again, we've got our existing BODA token. It's the same contract, it's the same thing. I know the taxes are still up there, but originally when I designed it back in 2021, I also did it for a long-term thing. So it wasn't something that I was like, oh, well, we're just going to do it and then throw it in the wind and see what happens. And then maybe in 6 months or a year, we'll change shit up. I had this set up knowing that this was something that could definitely last a long time, just as long as people kind of, get that in their head, this is how it works. This is what happened. This is what the token's for. So anyway, that's my little rant about that. But again, with the second token that we'll have, it'll be 0% tax. It'll have staking. It'll be good for exchanges. So that'll also please those who complain about paying taxes and et cetera, those who want to do flips and, do little day trading, 1%, 2% gains here and then and stuff, with the 0% tax token, you can do that. Absolutely. If people want to set up trading bots and try and do that as well, make those little 1%, 2% gains on trading bots, have fun, just go nuts with the second token that we're going to have. So that's something that, again, I'll do another spaces talking about that specifically, but the second token, I think we'll probably try and aim for around June, July-ish. Just need to get the swap stuff done first and get those releases done. Alrighty. Okay, so that should cover most of the updates. I'm fairly certain I haven't missed anything. Again, it was a long update today. If you feel like you've missed anything, if I was talking too fast, feel free to go back and listen to the recording.